If you hear a voice within you saying you are not a painter, then by all means, paint, and that voice will be silenced. Vincent Van Gogh. Stay tuned in this video because we are going to learn the truth about ourselves. We get the exciting opportunity of hearing an excerpt from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a book by Robert Kiyosaki. Before we get into that excerpt, you have to tell the truth to yourself about how you are feeling. You don't have to tell anyone else. You just have to admit it to yourself, which I would say is much harder than venting to someone else in some emotional outcry. Emotional admittance is, muddied down by adrenaline and cloudier than truly sitting down with yourself and having that transparency. It's difficult to demonstrate this variable because being honest with yourself, with your place in this world, is not easy. But the more you exercise doing this, the more you will avoid reacting emotionally. And instead, you will become proactively on offense. Here's a quote by Bob Proctor: "Don't be a victim of negative self talk. Remember, you're listening." Enjoy this excerpt by Robert Kiyosaki.
He understood that every person has a weak and needy part of their soul that can be bought, and he knew that every individual also had a part of their soul that was resilient and could never be bought. It was only a question of which one was stronger. Okay, $5 an hour. Suddenly, I was silent. Something had changed. The offer was too big and ridiculous. Not many grown-ups in 1956 made more than that, but quickly my temptation disappeared and calm set in. Slowly, I turned to my left to look at Mike. He looked back at me. The part of my soul that was weak and needy was silenced. The part of me that had no price took over. I knew Mike had gotten to that point too. "Good," said Rich Dad softly. "Most people have a price, and they have a price because of human emotions named fear and greed. First, the fear of being without money motivates us to work hard, and then, once we get that paycheck, greed or desire starts us thinking about all the wonderful things money can buy. The pattern is then set." "What pattern?" I asked. "The pattern of get up, go to work, pay bills, get up, go to work, pay bills." People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. Offer them more money, and they continue the cycle by increasing their spending. This is what I call the rat race. "There is another way?" Mike asked. "Yes," said Rich Dad slowly, "but only a few people find it." "And what is that way?" Mike asked. "That's what I hope you boys will learn as you work and study with me. That is why I took away all forms of pay." "Any hints?" Mike asked. "We're kind of tired of working hard, especially for nothing." "Well, the first step is telling the truth," said Rich Dad. "We haven't been lying," I said. "I did not say you were lying. I said to tell the truth," Rich Dad retorted. "The truth about what?" I asked. "How you're feeling," Rich Dad said. "You don't have to say it to anyone else. Just admit it to yourself." "You mean the people in this park, the people who work for you, Mrs. Martin, they don't do that?" I asked. "I doubt it," said Rich Dad. "Instead, they feel the fear of not having money. They don't confront it logically. They react emotionally instead of using their heads," Rich Dad said. "Then they get a few bucks in their hands, and again, the emotions of joy, desire, and greed take over. And again they react instead of think." "So their emotions control their brain," Mike said. "That's correct," said Rich Dad. "Instead of admitting the truth about how they feel, they react to their feelings and fail to think. They feel the fear, so they go to work, hoping that money will soothe the fear, but it doesn't. It continues to haunt them, and they return to work, hoping again that money will calm their fears, and again it doesn't. Fear keeps them in this trap of working, earning money, hoping the fear will go away. But every day they get up, and that old fear wakes up with them. For millions of people, that old fear keeps them awake all night, causing a night of turmoil and worry. So they get up and go to work, hoping that a paycheck will kill that fear gnawing at their souls. Money is running their lives, and they refuse to tell the truth about that. Money is in control of their emotions and their souls. Rich Dad sat quietly, letting his words sink in. Mike and I had heard what he said, but didn't understand fully what he was talking about. I just knew that I often wondered why grown-ups hurried off to work. It did not seem like much fun, and they never looked that happy, but something kept them going. Realizing we had absorbed as much as possible of what he was talking about, Rich Dad said, "I want you boys to avoid that trap. That is really what I want to teach you. Not just to be rich, because being rich does not solve the problem." "It doesn't?" I asked, surprised. "No, it doesn't. Let me explain the other emotion, desire. Some call it greed, but I prefer desire. It's perfectly normal to desire something better, prettier, more fun, or exciting. So people also work for money because of desire. They desire money for the joy they think it can buy. But the joy that money brings is often short-lived, and they soon need more money for more joy, more pleasure, more comfort, and more security. So they keep working, thinking money will soothe their souls that are troubled by fear and desire. But money can't do that. "Even rich people do this?" Mike asked. "Rich people included," said Rich Dad. "In fact, the reason many rich people are rich isn't because of desire, but because of fear. They believe that money can eliminate the fear of being poor, so they amass tons of it, only to find the fear gets worse. Now they fear losing the money. I have friends who keep working even though they have plenty. I know people who have millions who are more afraid now than when they were poor. They're terrified of losing it all. The fears that drove them to get rich got worse. That weak and needy part of their soul is actually screaming louder. They don't want to lose the big houses, the cars, and the high life money has bought them. They worry about what their friends would say if they lost all their money. Many are emotionally desperate and neurotic, although they look rich and have more money." "So is a poor man happier?" I asked. "No, I don't think so," replied Rich Dad. "The avoidance of money is just as psychotic as being attached to money."
Hopefully, that was a nice dose of discount therapy for the day. Stay tuned for my shameless plug. Here's another new inspirational Woy Hoy. Wear our heart on your sleeve. This is by Vincent Van Gogh. If you hear a voice within you saying you are not a painter, then by all means, paint, and that voice will be silenced. Vincent Van Gogh. Soft tease.
Get your inspirational Woy at shirtharmony.com. Link in the description below. Check out my new book, Serve, the Rule Book, step-by-step rules for a fast execution on a new mindset. Link in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week. See ya.